Hello everyone, this is CJ Novo 992 and today we are back with another brand new video. Today's video we are back once again in the brand new office, and yes, I know what you're thinking. CJ, you still haven't had a shave, you still haven't had a haircut. What's going on, mate? You look like a scruffy loser. And all I can say back is simply, bit harsh for you. Come on, I thought we were... No? But you know what, let's throw all that stuff to one side because that doesn't matter. What matters here, ladies and gentlemen, is the football. And when you think about it, it's been a very strange week of football. If you're a Rangers fan, you go back right to the start of the week with a disappointing result versus Hearts. Yeah, a couple of days later versus Porto, we put in one of the best performances we've put in a very long time. It's up and down. What's happening tomorrow? Who knows? But as always, let's preview it, try to predict it, and have a little laugh while doing so. As always. Now, we're going to start off with the opposition and preview the upcoming team, which is obviously Motherwell. And it has to be said, this Motherwell team is definitely defying the odds so far this season, because you go right to the start of the season, everyone was looking at this Motherwell team saying they've lost a couple of key players, one of them being Jake Hasty, who actually joined us. Now he's doing hasty things down and running on, playing very, very well. But the other player that hasn't even kicked a ball so far this season is their player of the season, David Turnbull. Mind him? He's still recovering from that knee issue which prevented him from joining Celtic earlier on in the window, by the way. Remember that whole saga? But these were explosive players that was able to score goals for them, and you took them away and you talked about some of the players that was joining them. A lot of these pundits and experts were looking at this Motherwell team saying these are unproven talents and they're going to struggle all season long. Yet even with all that and everyone doubting them, under the very impressive leadership of their manager Stephen Robinson, Motherwell are up to third in the league. They are certainly silencing their doubters, and you can see they've kind of bought into the underdog mentality. That's the way they seem to be playing the game, and they're certainly playing with a chip on their shoulders. And even the gaffer himself during this week's press conferences came out and given a lot of credit to their manager for the way that they've not only sort of proven everyone wrong, but the way that they've changed their play style, because we know last year and the years past they've just been hammer throws. It's been always a difficult game because you're getting one of these, or occasionally one of these. But the players that the manager has brought in and the way that they are playing this season, that's all to one side. They're actually getting the ball down and playing football, and Gerrard came out and gave him a lot of credit for that. And as we've mentioned how they're really buying into the mentality, a couple of players are really standing out for them so far this season. You've got the very impressive goalkeeper, who I think is very underrated in this league. Has had a couple of very good performances, a couple of iffy moments, but for the majority of it so far, he's looked pretty damn good. I just hope this isn't another case of one of the opposition goalkeepers having a world day. I can't have that. I've got enough grey hairs as it is, lads, and I've not got any time to get it cut now. Please, give me another 5-0. But in saying that, isn't it just the goalkeeper who has been playing well for them? You've got Seedorf, who looks like a very, very exciting prospect that Motherwell's got their hands in. Yes, before you ask, he is was it a distant relative of the Seedorf that you're all thinking of? That's literally what it says. Distant relative. But he's more than just the Seedorf name, and he's certainly got talent, and he's definitely one to be looking out for tomorrow. He will be running constantly at Tavernier, and that's going to be an interesting battle. And speaking about players that's standing out for Motherwell, that actually transitions us perfectly to some Motherwell team news, because we have one player who was arguably their best player up to the point he received a straight red card, that is. And that man is obviously Liam Donnelly, and he's expected to go straight back into the starting 11 now that his suspension is over. However, in the old yin and yang of football, you've got one player coming back to the starting 11 to play against Rangers, but on the opposite, you have one other good player from Motherwell who is a major, major doubt for this game, and that's Peter Hartley. Now, Hartley actually came off just shortly before Aberdeen scored their first goal in the 3-0 win versus Motherwell at the weekend. He came off with a head injury and is expected to miss the game of football. So if he misses, that could be a massive, massive loss for them, because he is an absolute leader back there. And I think with that being said, that is the Motherwell preview all done and dusted. That is the latest team news. Hopefully that helps you with your prediction on later on in today's video. But we've spoken about Motherwell. Now it's time to get to the fun part then, shall we? And speak about the famous. And I cannot tell you how good it feels to be able to sit here and say we are finally back playing at Ibrox. I mean, it feels like it's been so long since we've had a game there, but the last couple of times we've been there, especially the last twice, it's been no bad. You know what I mean? No bad. 5-0 and 5-0. And all I'm saying is, I'll have another one, please, Carol. Finally got a countdown reference in. What else do you want from a video, eh? You know what I mean? Take care of yourselves. I'll see you some more, alright? All the best. But all joking in that aside, that is something that Gerrard was discussing during this week's press conference, which you can find on the official Rangers YouTube channel. It wasn't necessarily the result of being 5-0, that's not really what he's talking about, but what he is talking about is the level of performance from the first whistle to the last. That is what Gerrard wants to see going into this game of football. He wants to see players battling for every single ball, winning in every individual battle, and just being at it for the entirety of the game. These players, especially at home, have showed that they can do that, so he's challenged them once again going into this game of football to do it again. But it's time we get to everyone's favourite part of every preview and prediction video. It is the old rotation talk. That's right, once again the media asked Steven Gerrard if there was going to be any rotations coming up for the game versus Motherwell based on the level of effort that was given versus Porto, and Gerrard was open and honest as always, saying there will be some changes to quote unquote freshen up the squad, but there won't be any wholesome changes. And normally I wouldn't be bringing that back up in another preview and prediction video because we've heard that so many times, but something I found very interesting, I think you guys will watching today's video as well, is he went in a wee bit more detail and spoke about both Ryan Jack and Ryan Kent. Now don't worry, it's not any fresh injury news or anything like that regarding the two. It was just the fact that they are just back from injury. The level of effort they gave on Porto, the longer than expected minutes that they played, he's going to have a sit down and a long think going into this game of football if he's to put Ryan Jack and Ryan Kent into this game, or take them out of it and protect them for the long haul if they're not ready. And he finished up that discussion by saying it's going to be a very late decision whether or not both of them, or either of them I should say, is involved tomorrow. So I want to fire that question back to you watching today's video. What would you do with Ryan Jack and Ryan Kent? Both of them played very well versus Porto, but again, both of them are just back from injury. Do you bring them in and put them straight into the lineup? Let me know your thoughts and opinions on that. Oh, and quickly, by the way, before I forget, Gerrard did also mention the fact that he wants to try and keep the starting 11 as close to being from Thursday night as possible, to keep that form and play going, to see if they can replicate it. So does that mean that Hollander will be played in tomorrow's match? That's a question that only Stevie G can answer, but I think the big man deserves it after he put out that level of performance on Thursday. And that's pretty much it for the old press conference recap this week. There was a couple of questions regarding the form dip last season from Europa League to league football. The record wasn't great, but Gerrard simply shot that down, saying that was last season. This is a new group of players that's been added in. They've experienced things, they've got better, they've got closer as a team, so they can't continue to always look backwards and compare to what they did last season or the season before, because they'll always find negatives. It's about thinking and moving forward. So I really rated that Gerrard kind of shot that line of questioning down as only he can. And with the press conference all done and dusted, let's turn our attention to the team news then, shall we? And very briefly, from Thursday, there's no one else that's picked up a knock or any further injuries, which is a major plus. Andy King is also back training with the first team as he has recovered from his slight knock, so expect to see him more featured within the next couple of weeks. John Flanagan is also 100% healthy, so he will be removed entirely from the injury list going forward. Jordan Jones remains on the same timeline as he's previously on, so close but no cigar for Mr. JJ. But we do have a sort of fresh injury. It's not really an injury, but Glenn Kamara was sent home early because he was feeling unwell yesterday, and again a late decision will be made, but Gerrard expects the man to be available for the game. And that's it for the team news, ladies and gentlemen. So that's it, that's the preview, that's the press recap, and that's the latest team news all done and dusted. Now it's time for me and thee to put our cojones on the line and try to predict the game of football. Which Rangers will turn up? Will it be the one that turned up to Tynecastle, or will it be the one that matched Porto, whom reached the quarter-final of the Champions League, stride for stride? Let me know your thoughts and opinions. While you guys do that, I will give you mine very, very briefly. I'd love a 5-0, gonna be honest with you. If you're offering me, I'll take it, but I think going into this game of football with the level of effort that was put in from Thursday, I'm going to just bring it down a little bit, but I'm still going to go with a strong performance, especially at Ibrox. I'm going to go with Rangers 3, Motherwell 0. And for my goal scorers, by the way, I'm going to go with Jermaine Defoe in this game of football. I think this is a Defoe type game, so I'm going to go with a dirty double from Jermaine Defoe. And the third goal, this is maybe the heart talking instead of the head, but I'm going to go with Captain Tavernier. That's how I end the weekend properly if Big Tavernier steps up and rattles one in. And before we jump over to Twitter, by the way, I also reached out to Gogsy99er ahead of the game, and this is what the man had to say.
Hello CJ, my prediction today, oh dear, we'll be lucky if it's anything less than 5-0 to Rangers. Rangers are rampant at home, but you never know what Motherwell's going to show up, because we got pumped by Aberdeen, but we've been really good this season. So I'm going to go with, we'll go 4-1 Rangers.
So now that me, thee, and Gog Z has had their say, let's jump over to Twitter then and hear from the people. There's been 1,556 votes. Thank you so much for getting involved. 3% votes for the draw. 4% votes for the well win. If you know, you know. But the far and away winner with 92% of the vote, a wee 992 to end the vote, is obviously a Rangers win. Bob Steele's right in right away and he says we'll win rather than the well win. 4-0 Rangers. Peter Ramsey writes in Rangers 3-0. Morelos, Tavernier and Ryan Kent goals. Kent. Deaky Neil writes in well win, going for a 6-0 Defoe hat-trick, Armfield double and Goldson from a corner. Philip Ewan McGregor writes in 5-0 Rangers. Keep the tradition. I like that, mate, I like that. Ryan D writes in 4-0 Rangers, Defoe dirty double, Morelos and Airfield. Well played. Well played, son. Stuart writes in, it'll be an annoying and dirty game where they won't try to play, but they'll try to stop us playing. 3-1 Rangers. Steve writes in 4-0 Rangers, Alfredo Morelos dirty double, Ryan Kent and Scotty Arfield. I love that everyone's also writing dirty doubles now, by the way. That's class nation. I love that. And the last one we read out, scroll all the way up here, scroll all the way down here, and we'll stop right here. And it actually comes from ENFC, and he writes in 6-0 Rangers. Hopefully Rangers win because I'm a Hamilton fan. So there it is, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're ending it. We're a Hamilton fan. Rare. But as always, you've heard from the people, you've heard from myself. If you haven't done so already, what are you waiting for? It's Motherwell at ibrox. Before we wrap up though, I need to give a special mention to the absolute legends on the Patreon's account. If you would like to support the channel, link for that is down there in the description below. And as always, I've been CJ Novo 992. Thank you so much for watching and bye.